All right, guys, we're live. It's another Sunday Night Live. I am the editor-in-chief of the Watercraft Journal. My name's Kevin Shaw. If you're new, this is your first time watching one of our live podcasts, welcome. It's great to have you. For all you guys who are regulars, thanks for coming back. We're going to have a little bit of fun. This is hopefully going to be a short one. I don't want to be kind of a nag on a lot of this stuff, and everyone's going to have different opinions, and that's to be expected. But what the heck, we'll go over the list. I've got a pretty big list in categories, and a lot of people are going to disagree, and that is fine because that is what the internet is all about. All right, we have, as far as news, let's get some business out of the way. As we noted here on the chat, that the long hauler auxiliary fuel system has been dropped by $50. So anyone who is interested, nice haircut. Thank you. I cut my own hair. But anyone who is interested in a long hauler auxiliary fuel system kit, it is now $50 cheaper. For most people in the U.S., that basically cuts your shipping off. So, rumor is that Yamaha is going to redesign the FX for 2022. That is not true at all. Guys, hauls last minimum 8 years. 8 years. So that ski's not getting redesigned. Especially the hull is not being redesigned until minimum 2025. So yeah, that's complete BS. So sorry about that, Rob, but they might make some alterations to the deck as they did with the FX. But you have to understand that the FX hull came out in 2015. So they were already 5 years into that hull design. So, and the reason why they redesigned the deck of the FX was primarily to accommodate the new seat for the GP, which was a must. And then it was also to accommodate the new speaker system and add more storage. So they pumped more life into the VX series by changing the deck, but you'll notice that the hull is identical. So let me close these windows out. All right. Yeah, but otherwise, sorry, man. Yeah, they're not changing the FX, nor should they. You're going to see a lot of racers on FXs this year, and a lot of you guys, a lot of you negative Nancys are really going to see the FXs completely dominate this year. It's going to be a really rude awakening. From what I've heard, the efforts going into FX racing is pretty wild right now. There's some pretty bitchin' efforts happening right now on that market. Some new product is coming out, and a lot of folks are moving to FX this year. So I'm actually pretty excited for the FX. Okay, so what today's topic is going to be is primarily preventative. This is going to be my inner Boy Scout coming out. Okay. And a lot of preparation. I will go over some stuff that most people don't bring. It just sounds like a lot of stuff to bring. And in most applications, a lot of this list is going to be really for a long distance rider who is doing a lot of offshore riding. A lot of this list I pulled from a list that I helped write with Mark Gerner of the PWC offshore team. And Mark's a veteran. Mark trains with Marines and special operations guys. Mark's no clown. This guy takes things very seriously. And Mark has been severely injured out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean before. So he knows all about preparation and getting a lot of this stuff really dialed in. So a lot of this, we'll talk about it and we'll go over it. But I want to tell you where it's coming from. Yannick, hey, thank you very much. We got our first super chat, guys. Yannick came in with $5. He writes, I have not gotten my machine yet, but love these chats. I feel better prepared, especially that I plan to do long haul camping and riding. Very cool. Yami, I have been to Canada. I have not ridden a Yamaha. My one trip to Canada was about 12 years ago, and I rode Sea-Doos. So sorry, I have not taken a Yamaha to Canada, but I have ridden Sea-Doos in Canada. And that was around Ontario. Okay, so let's get into the list here. And oh, hey, I've got prizes. I've got tons of stuff to give away, guys. I have so much stuff to give away. We have got it's all here on the floor, and I'll bring some stuff up. All right, let's see. I've got stuff from Yamaha, Kawasaki, Sea-Doo, and from Unlimited PWC out of Japan, and I've got a couple other really neat prizes, but we've got some really cool stuff. We've got some really, really cool stuff. These prizes, these are going to go to some of the best questions that basically get me going on a long tangent. The guy who gets me on a long tangent or a long topic with a good question that's engaging, I'll let you pick your prize. So we're giving away prizes, guys. So keep those questions coming. All right. Here we go. So, all right. Going down the list. Here are the 3 things that the United States Coast Guard requires. And these, if you look at a brand new ski, they are requiring this. Whether they'll give you a ticket for 2 of them, I doubt. But for one of them, they will give you a ticket for. All right. And the 3 things on the list of mandatory equipment, per all the obnoxious stickers and labels that are all over your skis, are number 1, personal flotation device. Obvious. All right. Whether it's a side entry, whether it's a front entry, whether it's a pullover, it doesn't matter. But as long as it is a U.S. Coast Guard, all right, a U.S. Coast Guard, I think it's got to be a 3 U.S. Coast Guard approved personal flotation device. Okay. Now, why am I saying this? Because there are like wakeboard and wake skate life vests that are very thin, very lightweight, and great motion, great range of motion and movement with those vests. But they will not keep you afloat if you get knocked out. All right. If you get knocked out or severely injured and you can't swim, that life vest has to keep your head above water. All right. Number 2, here we go. Neoprene shorts. Per the United States Coast Guard, you are required to wear neoprene shorts while riding a personal watercraft. There have been cases of people getting severely injured. How do I say this gently? A large torrent of water being blasted into a body cavity, causing severe internal damage. This was done by people being immature and goofing off, and putting either their legs up on, what happened in the most recent one was a woman in the UK was hanging off the back of her ski. Her feet were up on the reboarding step or on the swim platform, and she was hanging on. So she was doubled over, and whoever was operating the ski hit the throttle and really hurt that woman. But per the labels that are on your ski, especially the new ones, you are supposed to be wearing neoprene shorts. Do I wear neoprene shorts every time I ride? No. And I'm sure most of us don't. But per regulation now, they want you wearing neoprene shorts. In fact, You guys can go back and look at any time I review a Yamaha. I'm doing it with corporate. Like corporate is there. And they require that I wear neoprene shorts. I'm not wearing neoprene shorts. I'll typically wear like either a wetsuit or just neoprene pants. The shorts make you look like you're wearing Depends. So I just don't like wearing the shorts. So I'd rather wear like the leggings and pull a pair of like board shorts over them. That's up to you. But yeah, most people won't wear them. And I've never known anyone to be stopped by any sort of parks, state park, any sort of Coast Guard. I've never known anyone to get rolled for not wearing neoprene shorts. Girls on bikinis, in bikini bottoms, stuff like that. I just haven't encountered it. But that is a regulation. Number 3 is eyewear. You're supposed to be wearing some protective eyewear. Now you have a choice. You can wear full-on goggles. You can wear floating sunglasses. You can wear the hybrid kind. In fact, I've got a pair of hybrids right here. These are from Amphibian Eyewear. They used to advertise on the magazine. They're a small outfit, but they make some pretty cool stuff. And these are part of, this is part of the pile of giveaways. But you can see that they got a little neoprene, it's a neoprene band, wraps around your head like a goggle. And it's got a soft floating frame. These frames do float. And these are just some polarized lenses on them. But these would be what you would call like a hybrid. So if I say hybrid sunglasses, that's kind of what we're talking about. He said he don't give an F if you have them or not. Well, again, I'm just repeating the rules. So take it for, don't shoot the messenger on that one. But yeah, so either like, some really good goggles, some sunglasses. Now, guys, I'll tell you, the lake I live on, there's probably about 5 pairs of sunglasses at the bottom of that lake from me. I've had more sunglasses blown off my face. The best, and that's why I always say floating sunglasses. Take the effort to find a floating sunglasses. Or if you've got a floating band, like a strap that, has some, hydroturf or something that floats, you're going to want to have something to keep those glasses. And if you're wearing prescription glasses, you definitely don't want to lose those. So you're going to want to wear a headband or something that's going to keep those things from blowing off your face and help keep them floating. So learn from my mistakes. Now, when people ask me about floating sunglasses, I have Bombers, and Bombers have been around for a long time. Bomber is the most recognizable name when it comes to floating sunglasses. But the floating sunglasses that so far I found to be the most comfortable for me and don't look clunky, and they don't have big chunks of hydroturf glued to them, but actually are a really good looking floating sunglasses that don't blow off your face when you move your head around. That's been the Wind Rider sunglasses, and we did a review on the Watercraft Journal of Wind Rider, and I still use those. I've been using those for probably 2 years now. All right. So those are the 3 things that are kind of must-haves. Those are your mandatories. Okay. Now, optional riding gear. All right. And it all depends on what your riding style is and how you fare and what you like. Number 1, gloves. Because a lot of people will get this wear right here. They'll wear out and they'll wear this raw because they're tucking their hand up too close up against the end of the handlebars. They're not spacing their hands out. And so they're getting a constant rubbing there. And that gets raw. So a good pair of gloves will keep that from happening. You're also, if you get your hands wet, you might get the raisin effect on your hand, and that can cause a blister if you're doing a long ride or if you're really aggressive riding. Same story. So a good glove will be helpful in that sense. But Number 2 on this list would be footwear, whether those are slip-on booties or riding boots, or if you've got, if you got really good drainable shoes that are really breathable. I know like Under Armour makes a nice like workout shoe that really has good air circulation, so it'll dry out. Same story. And the last one for a lot of folks is a rash guard, whether that's a long sleeve, short sleeve. I know the long sleeve rash guard a lot of folks use as kind of UV protection, but the rash guard for a lot of folks especially who are wearing like a nylon life vest. I hate nylon life vests. Like I really hate them. So it's hard for me to do a review and not say they suck because I hate nylon. But nylon scratches, will scratch a lot of folks and just rub their skin raw. And so a rash guard is a good protective layer between your vest and your skin. So a rash guard. T-shirts. The problem with a cotton T-shirt is a cotton T-shirt doesn't dry as fast as a good water wicking rash guard. So it really is, again, like I remember Jerry Gaddis had, his PWC Life brand of materials, and he had like a Under Armour style shirt, and that was a really good water wicking, sweat wicking shirt. And those are nice too. So those are that list. Now I have a sub list on that on apparel, and other stuff for your apparel would be a towel. Now you might not want to bring a big beach towel. All right. But what I do recommend is actually a really good water absorbent towel. Wave, that's a WAV. Wave is really good. And I laughingly say it's a nicer ShamWow. And it's kind of weird, but we've actually done a review on the Watercraft Journal for these towels. They're really compact. They really fold up nice. I actually use them to dry off after I wash a ski, but they can work for you as well. And they're outstanding. They dry super fast and they're super absorbent. So it's a really nice microfiber style towel. All right. With that, you can bring an extra shirt, extra change of clothes, just in case. And with that, I strongly recommend a dry bag. You're going to want a good dry bag that tucks in, and a good dry bag goes a long way because you're going to pack a lot of stuff in that dry bag. Sea-Doo has a really good dry bag. And I think I've got like 3 of them, and I use them all the time. Oh, we got another one. Mr. TCA, we got $10. $5 for the awesome content, $5 to see a bit of nipple. No, you don't. What would be the best way to build a floating ramp to jump off on the lake? Woo! That's a good one. I would probably, and all super chats stop, and you get my full attention when you do a super chat and make a donation. So floating ramp, start with a basic BMX or for jet skis. I would start with kind of like a basic ramp that you would use when you were a kid with like, plywood with a BMX bike. The problem is you're not jumping a full-size ski. You're jumping a stand-up. And this is what I'll give you advice for, is jumping a stand-up. If you were to build like a plywood ramp, I would go to Home Depot and get a roll of that really cheap linoleum, that roll-up plastic linoleum. It's literally just plastic linoleum, and you just nail it down, because you just want to make a good. I'm not going to tell you the geometry of how to build the ramp, but I'll tell you how to build a stout one. You can build a good frame with 2x4s, build it up strong, get the plywood to get a ramp, whether you want to angle it or you just want it to have it be a good flat angle. You could do that. Good right angle, or you're doing Yeah, I don't think you want to do a slope ramp. You just want to do a 3-angled triangle. But for floating, the best thing would probably, boy, if you could find some old jet ski docks that nobody wants, that'd be because it's plastic and they'll push down. That would be the best. Because you get like a big, the floating docks are good because there's give. If you got like an old pontoon boat and built it, there wouldn't be any give, and you'd be hitting a wall. And so I wouldn't do that. But that is my answer for building a floating ramp to jump for on the lake. Is basic 2x4s with plywood, top the top of that thing with linoleum. Make sure your ramp goes in the water. Make sure your ramp goes in the water at least a foot. And make sure that it's strong enough that it won't break off. Because you're still in the water. You're not skimming off the top of it. So you're going to want to get some of that ramp in the water. And that way, when it engages, you're hitting the linoleum, the plastic, and it's going to bring you up. And that way, you're going to want to have some give in there. So maybe the side structures are going to be best. Boy, I saw how they used to do the old ones. I saw some of the old ones from like the freestyle days. Yeah, that'd be good. All right. So we're going back to our list. Okay. So your roll-up dry bag, I mean, West Marine has those clear ones, and I think I still have like 1 or 2 of those clear dry bags from West Marine. They're pretty cheap. They have a good vinyl covered bottom, rubberized vinyl bottom, and it's clear plastic. They roll up really good. They're good. Sea-Doo makes some really good ones through their accessory line. I haven't gotten my hands on any of them from Yamaha or from Cowie, but I know they make them too. But for you Sea-Doo guys, just support the brand and go get a Sea-Doo one. West Marine's got them. I know SBT's got them. But a dry bag is just pack it full as much as you can. Fold it over, squeeze the air out, and then roll it up real tight. Squeeze the air out as you keep going, and it'll be a really nice compact, a nice little compact setup. With that, I also recommend a small Pelican case. I say Pelican case, a waterproof hard case. You're going to put your car keys in there. You're going to put your phone in there. You're going to put your wallet in there for sure. Your wallet and your keys for sure. Your phone, you might be able to put in, like if you have a Sea-Doo, you have your Sea-Doo case, or the case in the Sea-Doo. And Yamaha has a waterproof glove box. So you're in good shape there. But if you're on a Cowie, Cowie, the STXs do have it's not necessarily waterproof, but do have a phone slot. I would soon, unless you had your radio hooked up or your phone hooked up to your radio, I would probably keep your phone in the Pelican case as well. But a waterproof case is where it's at. I mean, I've got one back from the Honda press release back in 2008 that I don't use it so much anymore, but I used to use it every day. Bring a hat, a Gilligan style brim hat, probably your best. I'm pretty fair. There's a reason why Ireland is a cold, wet island. Our people don't take well to the sun. So that's kind of, my advice when it comes to that. Especially if you feel like you're never going to feel like you're going to get stuck. You just get stuck. Crap happens. So bring a good brim hat. I would strongly recommend a good brim hat. And then the 2 other ones, this would be ideal for you Florida guys, is number 1, a good face shield. All right. I actually really like. I have a two-piece face shield that has goggles and then attaches a face covering. And this is for pop-up rainstorms, because there are times where you'll be caught totally unawares, and you're definitely going to need a face mask. It's going to save you, because otherwise you're standing in front of a sandblaster as you're going 35, 40 miles an hour with rain hitting you. You're just like this. You're miserable. You're getting blasted. So a good face mask, a good plastic face shield, you're definitely going to want that. I never wear these. I don't really care for them, but a couple guys swear by them. But a small, tightly packed rain poncho is also a good option for a lot of you guys. If you get caught in some really inclement weather, you might want a good rain poncho. And that could be a plastic one, canvas one, whatever you choose. But a good rain poncho is going to be on that list as well. That's primarily the apparel section. Apparel and mainly just things that are on your body. To this one's going to go into the survival section. And survival, I mean, you guys might be like, dude, what are you talking about? You're getting a little out of hand here. But you never, again, accidents are accidents. No one plans for an accident. So this one you're just going to want to have. Especially if you're going on a longer ride and you're away from the shore, or you're a considerable distance away from shore or other boaters, this is stuff that might just save your life. All right. I probably should have included this in the previous one, but sunscreen. Again, the good Lord blessed me with a very low melanin count. So we don't take well to to UV light. So sunscreen, bringing extra sunscreen. Water. I don't care if it's one bottled water. I don't care if it's a gallon jug of water. Bring drinkable water. Bring drinkable water. Even if you're riding on a freshwater lake, bring drinkable water. Now, if you're a really hardcore survivalist, I will tell you, you can bring one of those water bottles that you dip in the water and then you flip upside down and it filters, and then you can drink it. If you got one of those, if you have a water filtration system, my understanding is that they even work for salt water. Some of the more expensive ones do. But definitely want to suggest drinking water. With that, you might want to bring some sort of food. A power bar is best, like a Cliff Bar or a Power Bar. Is Power Bar still in business? I haven't seen a Power Bar in forever, but I've seen Cliff Bars. But like a good granola bar or a good protein bar, just that alone might keep you for several hours. So that's good. Now, thankfully, all slippery life vests come with whistles, but some people simply don't have whistles on their vests, and that's something I strongly recommend. Again, slippery wetsuits, all of their vests come with a little orange whistle. You're going to want that. Now, if you don't have a whistle, you're going to want something that makes noise. And that could be an air horn. It could be a small little compressed air horn. I know they have really tiny ones. But that is a good option. The other half of that is, and this was a big one that became very relevant in the Long Beach to Catalina offshore, because that's 25 and a half miles offshore, and back. So you're doing, 52 miles, is a PLB. PLB is a personal locator beacon. And a personal locator beacon, when I raced, they were immediately tied to to Coast Guard and wired to CTO. And my understanding, there's some of them you have to activate. And there's others that if it's in an amount of water for a prolonged period of time, and that could be less than a minute, it will activate and send off a GPS signal and a flash. That is one of them. The other thing is it depends if you have a really bad get off and you break a leg and you're out there floating, you can't get to your ski, something like that. But I knew that Mark always brought flares. He had flares, but then you realize that the flares weren't a good option for him, and he had a really good protective vest with pockets, and he had dye packs. And the dye pack, all the military guys that I knew, they're like, dude, we live and die by dye packs. Dye packs are great. So a dye pack, in many cases, is a better option than a flare, because a lot of that the ink in the dye pack is really reactionary to light. So even at night, if they got a searchlight, that it really pops. It really lights up, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's totally visible. So those are two things, and all this stuff you can get at like West Marine Academy Sports. I doubt you'll find it at like a Cabela's, because that's more of a bass fishing. I mean, that's more of a lake supply. But like a West Marine and Academy Sports, I've seen all this stuff there. All right. Of course, GPS. I always carry a GPS, but I'm doing speed runs and I'm doing other tracking for the magazine for articles that we publish. So, but a good GPS that has good tracking abilities, not just speed recording, but actual tracking and location, even better. And then this one is the one thing that all of us bring, and that is a charged cell phone. I have waterproof cases on my phones. I've always had a waterproof case. Jay, thank you for the $5. And I think everyone really enjoys your profile picture. So thank you for the $5. But when it comes to phones, guys, waterproof case. Now, here's the problem with waterproof cases. Everyone who does business with the Watercraft Journal has suffered with my terrible, terrible drive-through voice microphone for a waterproof case. I have reviewed probably 7 or 8 waterproof cases. I typically do one a year. And I mean, LifeProof was one of the best. The LifeProof Free, FRE, was one of the best waterproof cases that I used. A lot of you guys who have Samsungs, those are becoming water resistant and waterproof. So that's good. Apple isn't so much. I know they're saying it is, but the tech blogs are saying otherwise. And if you do have a phone with a USB port, I know the new Sea-Doos, the Yamahas, even the Cowies, bring a charging cord. Now, I did see someone comment here on the list, and I have seen them before. I'm not terribly excited about them because I haven't seen killer, results. But a small solar charger might be a good trickle charger to keep Bill, good question. What about a floating handheld VHS radio? I had that on my list, but here's the problem. How many people know how to use a VHS radio? Not very many. And it's incumbent upon people to take a class and to learn how to use their VHS radio. They might just know the emergency signals and can sit there and blip it. And if they can blip it, and if you know SOS, then, boop, 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 boop. Okay, you might get by. But a lot of folks simply wouldn't even, if they had a VHS radio on them, they might not even know how to use it. And that's scary. So, yeah. Oh, no, it's easy. But guys, I'm telling you, lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator. So yeah, 3 short, 2 long, 3 short. We all know. Well, I know. Some know. You know. Now, yeah. Oh, there's a million different combinations, guys. There's so many different things, but I am giving kind of basics here. I can't go into the weeds on all the different options. All right. So now we're going to talk about tools. And I left one off. All right. Number one is what many people call an all-purpose tool, what I would call a Leatherman, because that was the brand that first made them, was the Leatherman. And a Leatherman is a knife, it's a saw, it's a file, sometimes scissors, pliers, needle nose pliers, even wire strippers. I think a Leatherman beats a Swiss Army knife. I'm going to say it because of the pliers and their actual tool. So, well, I know a Swiss Army knife came first. Leatherman's better. That's my opinion. This is my podcast. Screw you. I'm going to say what I want. No. But I'll go with Leatherman number one. Leatherman encompasses a lot of the tools that are on this list because, for example, one of them is a reversible screwdriver. Typical screwdriver, you can actually pull the shaft out, and one end will be a Phillips head, the other half will be a flathead. A reversible screwdriver. Well, Leatherman has both Phillips and flathead screwdriver for it. So that encompasses it. Number two is a pair of dikes, wire cutters or snips, and pliers. Leatherman's got those. I did say a small crescent wrench, an adjustable wrench, but I have seen Leathermen that do have an adjustability that you can grab onto a nut and you can tighten a nut or loosen a nut. So crescent wrench or a Leatherman. Other stuff. Oh, the one thing that I haven't found a Leatherman to have is a spark plug socket. If you got a spark plug socket, it's easy for you to say. Spark plug socket. Now, everyone with a two-stroke always had extra spark plugs and a spark plug socket. Four strokes, not so much. But you can foul plugs just as much on a four-stroke as you can two-stroke. So I recommend one or two extra plugs and a spark plug socket. Other items to consider. Obviously, a tow rope. Some people go out with a dock line and not a tow rope, and they try to tow their skis home using a dock line. And I've seen those things snap with less than 5 miles an hour. I mean, they don't hold all that much. But a tow rope. Yeah, you want a dock line too, but definitely bring a tow rope. You can use a tow rope for a dock line. You can't use a dock line for a tow rope. Make sense? Okay. Number two, big old bag of zip ties. And with that bag of zip ties, throw in a roll of duct tape. Now, I will tell you what, gaffer tape, if you guys know what gaffer tape is, Gorilla tape is nice in between. Gaffer tape is, to me, the strongest stuff I've ever used in my life. All right. Gaffer tape is, you remember like the Crazy Glue commercial where the guy glued a hard hat to the ceiling? That's what gaffer tape can do. All right. Gaffer tape, that stuff, you could make a boat out of gaffer tape and it'd work. But duct tape is pretty damn strong too, and you get duct tape everywhere. Flex seal tape. Yeah. That's good. My understanding is that it has its limitations, and it's not as easy to parcel off chunks of it. I might be wrong, but you have to cut flex tape and seal it on. And duct tape, you can sit there with your teeth and go, and make up little pieces. And, here's the other thing. I've been out in the weeds and I've used duct tape as thread seal. All right. Because you take a small piece of duct tape and you wedge it into the pipe thread, plumber's tape. You can use duct tape for pipe thread, and it's gonna stick. It's sticky as all hell, and you're gonna have to wrench the crap out of it, but it does work. I don't know if flex tape is too thick for that. And I'm trying to think of every possible application. And then of course the last one should have been in the survival section, but that is a first aid kit. I have used duct tape, and I've had duct tape used on me as a bandage. So duct tape works out pretty damn good. But nothing beats a first aid kit. Now, you could go bonkers and get a big giant one and have that rattle around, or a small one with some pretty basic stuff and a roll of duct tape. God, I keep throwing duct tape out, but I'm telling you, here's the other thing. In your first aid kit, put at least 2 small tubes of super glue in there. For you guys who do not know, you know how super glue says do not stick to skin? Well, guess what? Super glue was developed in med packs in World War II for skin. It's designed to seal skin together. That's the whole thing. Is super glue. If you get a bad cut, a bad gash, you hit the handlebars and you split your forehead open and you're really bleeding. Guess what? I know guys who sit there with super glue, because that's what super glue is designed to do, guys. That's what super glue was designed to do, was to seal up cuts like that. It was to seal up. It was to literally pinch together bullet holes. I'm not joking. That was what it was developed for. By the way, Listerine was developed during the Civil War to clean amputation tools. So that's what you're gargling with. Fun fact. But yeah, I would put. Oh yeah, it hurts like hell. But that means it's working, just like Listerine. But yeah, couple tubes of super glue. Put that in the first aid kit, or in your toolkit. Now, here's what I recommend for carrying a lot of this stuff, because you're thinking like, dude, you're making me bring my garage with me. What am I gonna do? Number one, get a big dry bag, shove in your towel, your extra shirt. Go buy a Watercraft journal shirt or a hoodie and shove it in the bag and forget about it and just keep it there. All right. Here's the other thing I also recommend. Next time you get a package from Amazon, you see those little humidity packets, those little gel packets, or they're kind of full of sand, right? That's to keep humidity out. Throw 1 or 2 of those in your dry bag. You get them for free anyway. It's going to be in your next Amazon delivery, so go throw a couple of those in your dry bag. All right, throw in all of the gear and forget about it. Throw it in the front bin. You'll forget about it, but you'll go, oh, wait a minute, I got it in there. Okay. Extra riding gear, extra clothes, just in a hat, whatever. Throw it in there, put a dry pack in there, put it in your dry bag. You're done. Groovy. Move on. Next, get probably get a second dry bag, or you can get a Pelican case. And that's where I put all your tools. Now, thankfully, Yamaha, Cowie, and Sea-Doo have those little vinyl pouches that they put all their tools in. Okay? That's great. If you want extra tools, I'd put it in another dry bag, a separate dry bag, or a hard case, as long as it's waterproof. Because guess what? Your tools are going to rust. So you're definitely going to want to keep some of that gear in there, protected and separated. And thankfully, the tools that I've mentioned are pretty compact. The biggest thing in there is going to be a big roll of duct tape or a big roll of gaffer tape. Then the survival gear, that would be a smaller bag. You could literally pack most of that stuff into a half-gallon Ziploc bag and put that in the glove box. So a whistle, flare, a dye pack, your VHF radio, phone charger cord, if you don't already keep it in your ski, Even your GPS. If you're going to have a GPS and you're not going to have the little solar pack, maybe bring an extra pack of batteries just in case. But a couple of Nutri-Grain bars, those rock hard, stupid, crappy granola bars that blow up into dust. Maybe pack 1 or 2 of those in there. And guy, I really like the refillable water bottle with the purification in it, but that's expensive. So 1 or 2 bottles of water that's not an expensive purchase. But all that stuff is actually relatively easy. It's relatively low-hanging fruit. And a lot of people here are already bringing nicer stuff or better stuff. But this, of course, bring a power pack with extra cables. I've never had to jump another ski from my ski. But yeah, jerky is a good thing. The problem is that jerky is dry. And dried food makes you thirsty. So you're going to consume more water because of it, because of the salt. You're bringing a lot of salt. Going to need a bigger ski. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Well, the storage capacity on these skis are ridiculous. A power bank for your phone if you don't already have a USB charger, or if you don't want to do the little solar thing. I'm thinking of a ski breaking down in the middle of the ocean, and the life straw. Yeah, you can literally stick the life straw in like a pond, a mosquito pond, and drink out of it, and it'd be great. Toby, all right. We got another super chat, guys. We all appreciate you talking about this. What you're sharing with all your viewers literally saves lives. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, Toby. We appreciate the super chat. All right. Well, guys, this was my entire list. So I'm going to, camel pack. You can bring camel pack. All right. Let's go back up to the top here, and we're going to go down. But let me bring out some of the prizes. Do you guys want to see these prizes before so you can pick what stuff you want? That's more notes that I don't need. Let's bring up some of the stuff. Okay. Here we go. Okay. We've got 3 prizes. We're not giving everything away tonight. I might do 2 or 3 because I want you guys coming back every week for this. So, all right. Unlimited PWC, for you guys who don't know, they advertise with the Watercraft Journal, so I definitely want you guys to support the companies that support us. But the Watercraft Journal, in working with Unlimited, they sent us a big care package full of all sorts of really cool stuff. But they sent us some really neat stuff. For you guys who are running motorcycle-style handlebars, like on a 310R, or if you're running like Riva handlebars or something like that, we have a black and gray. It's almost like a camouflage. It's that digitized camouflage style. We got shin pads. We also got one for the ladies who want pink on their skis, or the fellows who want pink on their ski. I'm not judging. We have these, and then we have got, these are actually kind of cool. These are the Unlimited, if you can see in the picture without the reflection, these are the seat covers. These are really neat wrap-on seat covers. So if you're coming in from the water and you're sopping wet, these will keep your seats from getting all soggy. They are water wicking, and they will keep your seats from getting all moldy and wet and soggy. So that's what we got there. We've got, let's see here. Oh, I think this is Sea-Doo. Okay. That's Sea-Doo. Oh, we got stuff from Cowie. All right, let me get the other stuff from Cowie. All right. We've got a sports cup with the big Cowie logo. Of course, it's green with a pop-up straw. And then we've got these little phone well, it's not much of a phone case, but more like your car keys and credit cards. If you have, for you guys who don't have traditional wallets, but you got like the little the little card holder wallets. These are waterproof. They're sealed. Check it out in the camera. All right. So they seal up nice, waterproof, with a little lanyard. I got 2 of them. So for you Cowie guys, if you want this, and I'll ask you what prize you want, you can pick. Let's put those over here. And I'm going to put the sports cup away. So I want to see some good questions. You better get some good questions. Because if you can't entertain me with a good question, you ain't getting a prize. All right. I got a bunch of stuff from Sea-Doo. This one I actually kind of want to keep. I actually really like this one. This is a really nice metal. It's from the brand Polar Camel. Really nice tumbler. Wow, look at the seal on that. This thing's cherry. I actually want to keep this one. But, yeah, that seals in really nice. Live the Sea-Doo life. This one's trick. This is a nice one. I kind of really want to keep it. But then we've got a new Sea-Doo trucker style cap. So, trucker is, the mesh style and back. Flat bill. So you flat billers, you guys with lifted trucks with neon lights in your wheel wells and your flat bill caps, you can wear this. You wear it right on the top of your head, not on your head, like, up here, because you're cool. All right. And then we got a really neat camo style Sea-Doo rash guard and long sleeve. It's a long sleeve camo men's XL. All right. Men's XL camo long sleeve Sea-Doo. See, it's Sea-Doo right there. All right. So you can wear that with your flat bill cap and look like a complete idiot like me. There we go. All right. And then this is the big prize. I think a lot of you guys will like this one. All right. All right. These guys used to sponsor the Watercraft Journal, and I still got them. These are bond rail bumpers that attach to any ski. All right. They actually hook on the bottom. Sorry, they hook on the bottom, and you have straps. Here, we got straps. And what you do is that you hook it onto the bottom of your bond rail, and you hook your strap up and tie it up, and you pull the tension tight, and now you've got a really nice bond rail guard when you dock at the marina. Okay, and it comes in a pair. You get 2 of them. So, one at the end and one closer to the front. Now you're looking good. You're not chewing up your bond rail. All right, guys, those are your optional prizes. You get to pick. So if you're a Sea-Doo guy, you can pick the Sea-Doo stuff. Oh, that's the instructions for the Makeport Marine bumpers. But let's see what questions we got. All right. Okay. Already got that question answered. Have I been to Canada? Yes. I'm getting a Sea-Doo. You are good. All right. The Sea-Doo manual shows first oil change at 100 hours and 10-hour break-in. Is that safe to trust it or change it after 25 or 30? The first oil change after 100 hours? I don't think that's right. First oil change should be, I believe, every service department says like first 20 hours. But I recommend first 10 hours. And I've given reasons why and previous videos why. I've gone into a lot of detail over it. So you can go and check out those videos because I talk in great detail about it. I do not trust 100 hours whatsoever. That is madness. All right. A lot of people invited me up to Canada. Well, if they're requiring me to stick a needle in my arm and get some mystery goo shoved in there, I ain't going. So, sorry. It's not letting me super chat, big fella. You already did. MRTCA already did. So you solved it. A lot of guys talking about Canada. Okay, neoprene shorts. Yeah. A package protector. Well, neoprene shorts prevent water intrusion. Sorry, if I said extrusion, that's incorrect. Let's see here. Wearing goggles are pretty cool and safe. I can't count the times I've had little things shooting my face while riding. I actually had a dragonfly hit me at around 50 miles an hour during the mud bug. And I mean, it hit. It didn't break the skin, but it looked like I got hit with a dragonfly going 50 miles an hour. That's what it looked like. I've been caught in the pouring rain. Those glasses make all the difference. Yep. I left out fire extinguisher, didn't I? I left out a fire extinguisher. I take fire extinguishers so for granted because all skis should leave your dealership with a fire extinguisher. So sorry guys, super left that one off. That was really dumb. Yeah, those are the three things you should always have on your ski. Those are legal requirements. Look at the new seats on all three manufacturers. Call me a liar, but go look at the seats because now they're imprinted on the seats, not just on the glove box, but on the seats. Go look at the seats, and they will tell you personal life, your personal flotation device, neoprene shorts, eye protection. And that's just for your person. All right. What do I think about Jet Tribe products and goggles? Not a big fan. Not a big fan. And I'm not gonna use this opportunity to go off on it. They have gotten demonstrably better over the years. And, they stopped using backpack material for their tour coats and their riding pants. And the life vests have the worst molding. And I mean that in the sense of a mold, in the sense of a shape. Their life vests are still the most uncomfortable life vests on the market. And everyone who says, well, I have one and I like it, that's because you haven't tried anything new, especially from Slippery. Slippery has the best molding, and they spend the most effort in molding than any other brand. Jet Tribe is Jet Pilot is a close second. Jet Tribe is a distant third. In fact, I would put Body Glove and Spears in between there, and Spears is like the Walmart brand. I'm not joking. When it comes to molding for vests, the Jet Tribe, especially the side entry vests, are sandwich boards. All right. Let's see here. I bring money, ropes, water, sunglasses, good fillet knife for ropes or fishing line, and a 14-inch rather thin bar with a little curve for picking stuff out of the pump. Scott, that's a really good mention. All right, I've seen a lot of guys who, in fact, there was someone who was selling one, was that they're selling a small, like 1 foot bar with a hook on it. And they're using that to fish stuff out of the intake grate and to kind of rattle around the prop so that they can get in the pump and they can try to clear debris from the prop. I've seen a lot of guys with those. I'd like to see someone actually manufacture one that is specific for personal watercraft. I think we got another super chat, guys. I have to scroll down to find it. Toby, we all appreciate you. Oh, no. Oh, no, Planet Tierra is back. Thanks. All right, we gotta. I love our loyals. I love our subscribers. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Now let me find my spot again. Sea-Doo makes a killer floating sunglasses. I got a pair. I love them. They're actually really good. The Sea-Doo floating sunglasses are actually really, really good. Let's see here. Some personal flotation devices have something to attach goggles to at the base of the neck. Yeah, there's a little loop on some of them. And if you have like a tether for that, you can do that. I don't trust that because things can get separated. If you guys ever watched the video of like what I call like my biggest yard sale, I got thrown off. When I was racing, I was doing buoy course racing. I got bucked at 72 miles an hour, and I nearly got stripped naked. And I guarantee you that would have not held my sunglasses. Definitely recommend a pair of floating sunglasses. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Scott. That's Scott's comment for the bar. I keep a wetsuit in my ski in case of bad weather. A lot of people don't wear wetsuits. Getting people to buy a wetsuit who are kind of casual riders is like asking them to buy a helmet. They're not going to do it. But a thin slippery John wetsuit. And if you're an offshore rider, if you're an open ocean rider, I strongly recommend a wetsuit. I really do. My Pillow sells towels? I didn't know that. I have a big ass In-N-Out burger towel. I have a big Riva towel. The Riva towel is actually great. Guys, I think Riva still sells them. Riva's towel, like it actually says Riva on it. It's blue and white. It's phenomenal. And it's huge. Yeah, it's great. All right. If I wanted to, Colin writes, if I wanted to island hop camp on a GTI SE, any good ways to pack a compact form of shelter, cooking utensils, dry food, extra camping for overnight primitive camping? Ooh, good question, Colin. All right. Colin's a Sea-Doo guy, so I think Colin might be getting a Sea-Doo gift. If you're here, Colin, give me what you want. I like this question. All right, number one, I'd get a rack. Get a big storage rack for the back. Whether that rack is from cool PWC stuff, PWC racks. There's so many rack manufacturers, but get a good rack. You're gonna want a cooler. A small pop-up tent and mummy bag in a dry bag would be good. So you could probably shove a mummy bag in a dry bag. GTI SE. GTI SE has more storage than the GTX. I'm not joking. The GTI has almost 1.5 times more storage than the full-size GTX or RXTX. So you're starting off good there. Yeah, I don't think I'd even use one of the Link systems. I would use a big rack, like the biggest rack you can get, because you're gonna want propane and a cooking stove, a heater, not a heater, but a cooking element, some sort of pot, a folding pot, or folding skillet. Utensils, sleeping bag, towel, change of clothes, pop-up tent. You know what? The pop-up tents, the little dome pop-up tents, they pack so small. I think they're like 1.5 feet long. You'd be able to fit that thing in the front bin, if not tie it to the back rack. Small propane element, small propane cooker. You'd want a larger gallon jug of water. You're going to want a lot of water because you're going to cook. Fishing rods, fishing poles. So a good rack with a rod holder would be great. Colin, I like this question because I kind of always wanted to do this. I've thought about it. I've thought about going out to a location like a Channel Island. I thought about doing the Outer Banks in the Carolinas. I thought that would be cool to camp out there. You know, just on an island. You would. I don't think you'd have a storage problem because you would be able to bring on that ski more gear than you would on your backpack if you were primitive camping by foot. As long as you had enough clothes, dry clothes, enough water, you could bring a tent. You could bring a 0 degree, sub-zero sleeping bag. Yeah, I think you're in good shape, dude. That's easy. All right. Jason Bourne writes, in addition to the regular items, I carry a VHF radio, battery pack, tools, zip ties, duct tape, navigation lights that Velcro on if stuck out at night. Very good. And a life straw. Very good. All right. I like that. KTM. Interesting. Okay, this goes to a point that we've talked about before, guys. KTM writes, getting my Fish Pro back tomorrow after 3 weeks at the dealer. The ski wasn't in the recall, but the IDF gears broke and the shaft bent. It was stuck in neutral at sea, towed back 500 bucks. Oh, you're the guy who wrote me. Oh, thank you for writing. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that you're getting your ski back. I'm so sorry. You got towed back in. You had written me earlier. Well, I'm glad to hear this. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, good. Grant writes, what's my favorite anchor? Rush Limbaugh. He was a news anchor. I'd say Rush Limbaugh. God rest his soul. I know that's not what you're asking for. Ted Koppel. No, I'm joking. Okay. Well, I really want to try out the sand docker. You know, the little foot that goes in. Really would love to do stuff with sand docker. I know those guys advertise in Pro Rider. And Pro Rider has about 4,200 subscribers from what I've heard. And I do about 3,000 people a day. So yeah, you know, I mean, we did 490,000 readers last year. So if the guys at Sand Docker are interested, I can help sell your product a whole hell of a lot more than anyone else. Simply have more people, more eyeballs, more ears. Okay. But I'd like to try Sand Docker. I've used a lot of the sandbag ones. I did a review on one anchor that was primarily for the kayak fishermen. And that thing looked like something Batman would use to hang from the top of Gotham City. I mean, that thing was crazy. A little too hardcore for what we needed. So usually the wet bag. I have a West Marine rock bag. You know, you put rocks in it and it kind of keeps your ski still. But I haven't used it in years because Tennessee has trees everywhere. So you just take a rope and you tie it to a tree and then you walk up the shore and you're good. So yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of testing with that. All right, let's see here. Is there any good cross-country lake trip routes out there? Every state has a beautiful lake or river of some sort. I'd like to put in Lake Powell. Lake Powell is beautiful. Lake Powell is neat. Any videos on the GP 1800R HO? Not the 21. To be honest, Yamaha didn't have one for me to try out. They kind of figured that the SVHO was more important, so they put me on that for 2 days. And then I did later testing, and I'll do a follow-up article in the next couple weeks on that ski, but not on the HO. But again, the HO is mechanically unchanged. So besides the top seat, so I could lie and say, yeah, but I'd be lying. So if you could look back at an old HO review, it's going to be the same thing. Performance-wise, same thing. Handling-wise, same thing. The only thing is ergonomics. And then you could just look at the ergonomics, how I reported on the ergonomics on the SVHO, and go, okay, that'll work. Sorry. Out of all brands, which life jacket do you recommend in terms of value and best flotation? Slippery. Slippery. Like, Slippery is the most comfortable, absolutely the most comfortable vest, best molded vest, best material. Oh, guys, the material that they use is so much better than everyone else. Slippery. 100% Slippery. And that is not because they advertise. I dropped Jet Tribe. Jet Tribe was the first advertiser I ever said, we're done. Your program ends next month. Slippery, I wouldn't promote Slippery if I didn't believe it. Slippery is the best. Slippery used to have a really great front entry vest, 2-buckle with a zipper. It used to be one of the best ones. They have a front entry that's neoprene, but I don't like the new molding for that one. The new molding for that one, quite frankly, makes you feel like you've got like 3 sets of boobs. It just is not the mold for that one is just weird. But their side entry, they have a side entry, and most people don't like side entries. I'm not a big side entry guy. This is the only side entry I've ever loved. And I mean love. I mean, honestly, really sincerely love. I have 3 of these side entries in different colors and molds, or patterns. Same mold, different pattern. But definitely Slippery. Just 100%. All right. Let's see. I freeze water so it's cool all day. Have bottles that fit perfectly. Oh, okay. I used to do that that's funny. I used to take like old Gatorade bottles and fill them up with ice. And then by the time it was hot, it was ice water. Let's see here. Earthwise makes a great 2 to 3 day food safety kit. Cool. That's a good point. Thank you. I keep MREs in my ski all the time. I'll tell you what, they taste like crap, but they'll keep you alive. All right. What brand should I get mine from? Looking for 2 for the family. I presume you mean skis. And that question doesn't allow me anything. That doesn't tell me anything. I tell you to go get a pair of like base model VX Sports, or GTI SE1 or GTI 130s. Okay. Let's see here. Any more questions? Floating radios. We talked about Swiss Army knife. Leatherman's better. Let's see here. Multi-tools. Yeah. Let's see here. I have a standard Horizon radio. It's phenomenal, but Kevin is right. Not many people know how to use it. That's the sad reality. Again, it's the lowest common denominator. I feel bad. Did I win a prize? No, John. Would you recommend flex tape? Again, I'm not terribly sure if it will do all the things that duct tape will do. How do you get it off? How do you get super glue off? Well, your body will eventually heal itself and it flakes off. You ever had super glue on your hand? It takes like 3 or 4 days for it to come off. Silica pack. Yeah, that's the little silica pack, the little humidity pack. All right. What I take on a lake versus open water is different. True. You got to pack accordingly. Because especially if you're like, well, I could swim to shore, then you're fine. If you're like, dude, I'm so close, I could literally hook up the dock line to the front of the ski, and I'm a strong enough swimmer that I could swim my ski back. Okay, then you're fine. If you're 30 miles offshore, totally different creature. Get my uncle touchy hands money. Get my uncle touchy hands money Wednesday. I'm getting Uncle touchy hands. You mean Uncle Joe? Touchy hands. Oh, damn it, that's funny. I get my Uncle touchy hands money. Oh, damn it, Mike. All right, pick your prize, Mike. You win. Sorry. If you ever wondered if my face could get any redder. Oh, shit. Okay, sorry. That was really funny. All right, Mike, please tell me you're here. You're getting a prize, dude. You're winning on that one. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I have a USB on my Sea-Doo, but I carry a backup. Okay, good. All right. Question about a show a few weeks ago about rear exhaust. By having Riva rear exhaust, are the factory ballers useless? Do I need an electric bilge? Oh, factory balers useless. No. You're fine. No, you're fine. You should be fine. Yeah, if you're drilling a hole through the back of your ski, you're not getting water intrusion because there's a block off, and you're not going to fill up the back of your engine with water, and you're not going to fill up your hull at all. And if you're putting that on Yamaha, it's got the siphons in it, you'll be fine. No, you're fine. Alrighty, let's see here. Mike C writes, what about one of those collapsible paddles? You could. In fact, I recommended a collapsible paddle for people who were doing jet ski fishing, because if you're really getting into the shallows, you don't want to turn your pump on, you can take a paddle out and you can move another 5-10 feet into the weeds and fish in the shallows there. All right. Let's see here. Ape hangers? You mean handlebars? Are you like Easy Rider? What's going on here? All right. The seat covers are nice. The seat covers are cool. All right. Christmas has come early. Look at all the fire stuff. All right. Let's see here. Would you just add the GPS to a GTX 300 LTD or use a phone on a mount? I've seen people do the Fish Pro GPS swap onto a GTX. It looks great. You do a great job. We did an article on someone who did that on an RX-TX a couple years ago, and they did a fantastic job. So that is doable. And boy, that fish finder GPS, that Garmin, is killer. So it would be it really would be a good opportunity if you wanted to do that. I always bring my phone, and because the USB charger is on the Sea-Doo, I have a small, like, 1 foot charging cord. Got it from like Best Buy. Works great. Okay. Would you install the Fish Pro extension on a GTX to get 2 rows of links? No. Don't. And by the way, there's a lot of work and a lot of modification in putting that extension on the back of your ski. It is not just a bolt-on. All right? There's a lot to it. It's a bigger project than you think, and it's really not all that worth it. If you really want to have the extra link accessories, I think... Oh, guys, you might have to tell me who it is. Someone is making a plate that mounts on the back of your Sea-Doo through the Link Pro system. It mounts on, and it's got 2 sets of links on there, and suddenly you have, you can put a cooler and your gas caddy and have 2 items on there without having the extension. You're not going to want the extension on there. All right. Crazy Cuban writes, my 2021 VXHO does 70 miles per hour, light tune, Riva exhaust, and removed throttle body airflow blocker. Very cool. And it's doable for sure. Are you going to have an open PWC trip in Louisiana? I might just... I know the spring mud bug is happening, but I don't know the dates in April. But it is happening in April. I don't have to put it on. I can just tag along with those guys and have more fun and less stress. So I strongly recommend that. If I'm going, I don't know what I'll be on. Probably just my little GTI 170 until Sea-Doo takes it back. Why Sea-Doo over Yamaha FX SVHO? What are the big reasons of why Sea-Doo over Yamaha? Just top 3 reasons. Ergolock. I mean, if your answer is why should I? Ergolock. Ergolock. Link. The hull of the FX, I prefer the hull. It's got... FX has more storage, bigger glove box. You know what? I like the Sea-Doo sound system better. Sea-Doo sound system, Ergolock, and the Link is nice. Those are my 3 reasons. All right. Yeah. Bad motor finger. Same thing I just said. Perfect. Okay. What type of GoPro do you recommend? And yes, I would buy a float. The sessions are cheap, but you're not going to know what you got until you upload it to your computer or have the app on your phone. I have a couple sessions. I like them, but I kind of attach them at different points and don't pay attention. I have a GoPro 8 Black that I really like. And then I got a couple of those cheap Chinese ones that are like $50. And boy, do you get what you pay for with those things. Holy crap. And who knows if the Chinese government's seen my jet ski videos before I do. So we'll know. All right. Good rack for a Sea-Doo. Depends on what you're willing to spend on your girlfriend. What was the line from Weird Science? Anything bigger than a handful is a waste? I don't know if I agree with that. All right. Are through-hull transducers good, or do they get a lot of interference? No, they work fine. Through-hull transducers work on bass boats that are demonstrably thicker than Sea-Doos and Yamahas. Yeah, they're fine. Through-hull transducers are great. Hey, Kev. Hey, yo, Mikey writes, I know we talked about it last week, but I wanted to know about beaching my FX SVHO Cruiser. I don't mean beaching it as in full throttle up the shore. Mikey, Yamaha paints their skis, hulls, deck, hood, everything, with automotive style paint, automotive grade 3-stage paint. That is what they paint their skis with. It's not gel coat. It's not acrylic. It's not magic goo. It's car paint. So tell me, would you be willing for me to go out there with an impact wrench and take the hood off of your car and gently drag it up the beach? Let me know. Would you be okay with me doing it multiple times and then dragging it back off the beach into the water, and then back up again. And letting the shore drag it up, drag it down, drag it up, drag it down. And just do this. Just sand your hood. I don't know, half an hour, however long you're on the beach, having a drink, eating a sandwich. Would you be okay with that? Does that sound good? Doing this? No. That's what is happening to Yamahas. When you beach a Yamaha, you're sanding your Yamaha. Just saying. Okay. Will the hull delaminate under normal tide and ocean wave action? No. The delamination process has pretty much, or the delamination issue has pretty much been solved because they have added two things to the 3-stage paint system. One, they have added a better adhesion base, so the paint adheres better to the base. And they have also added an additive to the paint that is a what would you call it? Crap. There's an actual word for it. Basically, it's an additive that allows the paint to flex. It actually allows the paint to give instead of being rigid. So it's really not happening all that much. All right. Jay writes, 2005 RXP Stage 2 Open Loop Gen 2 Intercooler, 4-inch Canaflex Air, replaced temperature sensor drilled out J-pipe. My ski gets exhaust temp warning when I slow down or let off the throttle. I drilled out the J-pipe. My ski gets exhaust temperature warning when I slow down or let off the throttle. That's back pressure. And it's not that the exhaust temp is high. It's that it's seeing a spike because you're pushing out such a strong exhaust pulse that when you chop the throttle, the back pressure is sending that at such a wave that it's triggering that sensor. I don't know how to fix that, but that's what's happening. Ski gets an exhaust temp when I slow down or let off the throttle. It's back pressure. I think it's back pressure. That's what the exhaust temp is doing. You have bad scavenging and you have back pressure. What's your water box look like? Tell me what your exhaust system is, Jay. I'm curious. Jason Bourne writes, I have a Ford truck. Tell me why your Ram is better. It's not made out of aluminum. It's not made out of Bud Light cans. That's why. All right. Could you... shoot. Shoot. I skipped ahead. Okay. All right. Boostin' Bernard writes, hey, Kevin, how are PWC impellers calculated? I know about boat prop pitches and diameters, but what are numbers representing on impellers? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a question that's going to take like an hour on its own. I'd like to spend another... that might be a Sunday night session, Bernard. Or Bedard? Boston Bedard? I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's got to be its own Sunday session. All right. Damn it. I'm writing it down. Impeller tech. And pitching. Damn it. Now I'm doing another episode on this. Okay, that's a good one. Bedard, you want a prize? Tell me what you want. Okay. Will the hull delaminate? No. Does a keel guard affect the way a ski handles? Yes. Sea-Doo Ergolock, Fish Pro extended platform, and IBR. The extended platform is meh. No, I put first aid kit. First aid kit was on there. All right. Let's see here. Could you take the stickers off? Is it legal to take them off? Yes. I presume. Has anyone ever arrested anyone for taking those tags off of mattresses? Where do I buy slippery stuff? They're impossible to find. Google it. They're all over the place. You know who owns? Parts Unlimited owns slippery. Parts Unlimited owns Thor. Parts Unlimited is everywhere. You just Google it. Yeah. Everywhere. All right. I've only found one website for slippery vests and says it's not available until July. Huh. Weird. Okay. I'll have to look that up. Kevin, I hear there is a problem with the IDF on the new Sea-Doos, but cannot find anything about it. What do you know about this? I spent okay, you know what? Hey, Bill, I'm not going to spend the time on this one, but I did answer this question to somebody this last week. Go to last week's Sunday session, which was the PWC community one, and go 10 minutes in, and I go into full detail on the IDF. Billy Duplessis. Billy's here. Is it safe to tow a ski if needed? I heard it forces water into the engine. Yamaha says you should not tow over 5 to 7 miles per hour. That is from the manufacturer. Let's see here. Hit the like button and hit subscribe, then hit the bell. Please do. Guys, please if you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel and please like the videos. And then go back and look at old videos and like all those and then share them with all your friends and tell everyone how great they are. Okay. So one of the racks made by PWC Rack. Yeah, cool PWC stuff makes racks. PWC Rack makes stuff. There's so many guys who make racks. Yeah, so many guys make racks. How would you do, or how would you recommend securing the ski overnight while doing this camping? Anchor, and then even go the extra mile and tie it up to a log or something else. So you'd have you have an anchor hooked here, and just in case, high tide comes in, low tide goes out, you want to have it. What are the zip ties for? Everything. Everything. Always bring zip ties. Jason Bourne writes, I camp for my ski. I use saddlebags from the snowmobile for gear. I stick tent and sleeping bag in the dry bag up front. Single burner stove, etc. fits in the saddlebags. Very cool. Okay. Mule tape. Never heard of mule tape. All right. Everyone who has a Cooper anchor swears it's the best anchor ever. I've never seen one or never used one. Excuse me. Last time we camped with the skis on a barrier island, we secured the skis with the Sand Shark anchor after everyone helped each other by pulling the skis up as far as the beach as possible. Okay. All right. Can the sound system on the Sea-Doo kill the battery? No, because Sea-Doo has the Sea-Doo system will actually read. There's a timer on it. Number one, there's a timer on it. And number two, there is a low signal warning. And so if it's getting a low amperage signal, it'll kill the battery. Ugh. This is going past an hour and a half. Cooper and Sand Shark anchors are great for sure. We use the Cooper anchors while in deep water and traveling in the Bahamas. Very cool. Hey, just purchased a 2021 GP 1800R HO with sound. Ever heard them? How are they? If so, they're good. They're good. The speaker position is ideal if you're standing up, but it's pointing up. It's pointing at your face. if you're standing up. If you're sitting down, imagine a laser beam coming out of the speakers. It's pointed at it's like at the handlebars. Sea-Doo speaker positioning is a little bit better. Sound quality, they have the same output, but the sound quality on the Sea-Doos just seems better to me. It's a little bit crisper. The Yamaha feels a little tinny, just tinny, a little metalish, but you've already paid for it, so whatever. What do you think about Sea-Doo's Midnight Purple? I mean, it looks great in the sun. Would I get it in purple? No. Of course, Millennium Yellow isn't my favorite either, but my new Sea-Doo is probably going to be in Millennium Yellow. All right. Earplugs for long rides? No, because I like to listen to what's happening. I went with the black GP, just waiting for salt to be washed away now. Nice weather will be here in like 2 weeks. Probably going to go down to Pennsylvania. Okay. Let's see. I want to put gauges on my 2020 FX. Nowhere to mount, so you can cut a hole in the mirror for one depth and other boost temp. Yeah, if you want to replace your mirrors, I guess you could do that. Let's see here. Hull raiser. I put my right foot forward when tight turning to the right and vice versa turning left. Should my back foot be centered in the footwell, or should I be placing it further back in the ski? What are you riding? What are you riding? Is there a reference video that I can watch for improved riding? Get that nipple out, man. Yeah, that's funny. Again, what are you riding? It all depends. And are you naturally goofy foot? Are you naturally regular foot? The too many questions left unanswered on that one. Looking at getting 1-2 because I'm going. Okay. Oh shoot. All right, let's keep going. I think I'm going to do another 7 minutes and then we're done. What is your opinion of the jet ski tour business in tourism places? I think it's great. I think the nice thing is that you might get some newbies who never been on a ski before or haven't been on a ski in a long time, and they're seeing and if they have a really great adventure, if they have a great experience, they might go home and buy a ski. And so now we're growing the market. So as long as, the tour is well organized and, they got a good, I call it a sheepdog. If they got a good sheepdog who's making sure that no one is lagging behind, everyone's having a good time, the experience turns into be a really positive experience for them. Yeah, I think it's great. All right, let's see here. Mike C. Mike, I'm telling you, you had me laughing so damn hard. You win a prize, bro. What are the prizes for those who won them? I showed in the video. You get to pick. Okay, Boostin writes. Boostin's getting... Boostin, you're getting the rash guard, bro. Email me at kevin.shaw@Shaw Group Media. Kevin.shaw@Shaw Group Media. And give me your address, and I'll send that out to you. All right. And anyone who was a super chat, anybody who donated money to the super chat, you're getting stickers. So make sure you email me, kevin.shaw@shawgroupmedia.com. All right. Let's see here. Colin, we had the seat covers, we had the Specs goggles, Kawasaki Cup, Sea-Doo flat bill, the Kawasaki wallet holders, and I think that's it. All right. Let's see here. Is it okay to ride a GP 1800R full stock in around 30, 35 degrees? I do it all the time. Guys, I ride when it's cold. All the time. All right. Guys, I am pretty much done. Seat covers might help my aluminum Ford truck look better. Yeah, well, you got stickers last time. Yeah, Mike C definitely wins one. Colin gets one, and Boston is getting the rash guard. Boston's already claimed his rash guard. Colin needs to pick his prize, and Mike, if he wants one for making me laugh my ass off, you can pick one too. All right, guys, I think I'm done here. It's an hour and 40 minutes into this. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone who's coming in and watching these. Definitely want to help the channel grow. We're gonna have a big year this year. If you guys please share, yeah, please share the magazine. Please share the videos. We definitely need to grow this channel, and we're going to have a hell of a year this year. Next video coming out. I'd like you to know that someone has changed their name to Kevin Shaw's Nipple. And he's asking Spark or Yamaha. Spark, or I presume a Yamaha EX. I would pick an EXR over any other Rec Light there is. The EXR is absolutely a riot. It's so much fun. So, yeah. All right, guys. I'm tuning out. We're good. For Mike C and for Boston, definitely email me. And Colin, you got to email me what you want to. All right, guys, we're done. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. Oh, wait. The next video that's coming out is a walkthrough on using the Riva Map Tuner X with their stock, what's called their stock 8000 tune, and it's undetectable by dealerships, and you're gonna go 75 miles an hour with that on any SVHO. Well, not any, but on a GP SVHO. So, all right, guys, that video should be out at the end of this week. So we are done. I keep saying goodnight. This time I mean it. Is there another Sea-Doo rash guard shirt? Colin, no, I apologize. You were too. I went back and looked in the earlier video. Didn't see anything other than very short list of prizes. That was a list of prizes, dude. I mean, short list. Hey, ingrate. Holy cow. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There were 10 prizes. Holy cow. What are you talking about, Colin? Jeez. Things I do for you people. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll talk soon.